Shouldn't we be considering right now, tonight, a ban on Chinese social media apps, especially TikTok?
Laura, your viewers should know we're taking this very seriously. It's something we're looking at.
Would you recommend that people download that app on their phones tonight, tomorrow, anytime currently?
Only if you want your private information in the hands of the Chinese Communist Party.
Oh, that freaked parents out across the country. Just 1 month after that interview 2 years ago, then President Donald Trump invoked his emergency economic powers to impose sanctions against TikTok in a move that was meant to force that China-owned app to sell its American assets to a U.S. company. 1 year ago, however, Joe Biden foolishly rescinded this order. He's always helping the Chinese. And now we have this going on. According to BuzzFeed, that leaked audio from internal TikTok meetings reveals China-based employees of ByteDance, which is the parent company, have repeatedly accessed non-public data about U.S. TikTok users, despite the company claiming otherwise. And that doesn't even speak to the societal rot, of course, emanating from the app. Teens trying to, get internet famous, making overly sexualized or stupid videos. And to that point, Tesla CEO Elon Musk asked this poignant question: is TikTok destroying civilization? Some people think so. Joining us now is Mike Pompeo, former Secretary of State, Fox News contributor. Mr. Secretary, you were very prescient that night. What do you think 2 years later?
Laura, thanks for having me on tonight. I wish this wasn't an "I told you so" moment. I don't say it with any joy in my heart, but we now have even further evidence that the Chinese Communist Party is taking the data that comes across from TikTok and using it in all kinds of different nefarious ways. The effort to close it off because we keep the data here in the United States on a server, it's a fool's errand. The parent company's figured out how to get access through the channels, and we got it from the mouths of the employees of TikTok, the parent company ByteDance themselves. Your point's exactly right. You in your opening, you talked about the Chinese Communist Party wanting to make the United States a puppet state. We are helping them. Not only do we have the individual privacy issues, if my kid was on TikTok, they'd have his social security number, they'd know what his face looked like, they'd know who his friends were, they'd know all the people he had in his contact list, or who he reached out to in different chats. That's dangerous for the individual, but cumulatively, they're using this data in ways that will come back to haunt the United States of America for years and years and years.
Yeah, building databases on individual Americans. Now, we reached out to TikTok, Mr. Secretary. They told us on background that everything is working as it should. That even sounds like the Chinese. They work with consultants to access U.S. data in order to stop China from accessing U.S. data, they said, and minimize data transfers. Is that in any way convincing to you?
It's not. I don't have any doubt that there are efforts afoot to do that. But when it comes to this kind of communication, when it comes to something like TikTok, that, Laura, you know this, right? It's so addictive. These kids are pointing to the things they like, the things they enjoy. They're sending things to their friends. That data chain is rich in detail about the private nature of conversations amongst people, right? They use it to get to other apps too. So I think they may well be making an effort. It might even be a good faith effort. But in the end, the Chinese Communist Party wants access to it. They're going to find a way. They'll find a channel, and we'll wake up in 3 or 4 years thinking, gosh, we thought we had this solved, and we won't have begun to.
Biden this weekend was asked about the tariffs on China. This is what he said.
How soon are you talking to Xi?
I ain't telling you.
Have you made up your mind on China tariffs, sir?
We're in the process of doing that.
You're lifting the tariffs?
We're in the process of making up my mind.
Was that before he fell or after? I don't know if he hit it. I don't know when that was in the trajectory of things, but they're obviously going to lift the tariffs, just helping China, correct?
It sure seems they're headed down that path. I couldn't tell you why. One thing we had right. We understood that the Chinese Communist Party had been at war with the American economy for decades. They'd stolen billions in IP, lots of jobs in states like my home in Kansas. Really hurt the American economy because we were fools. We didn't treat them reciprocally. We let them dump product here, and we began to turn the corner on that. We began to turn the tide, get it back in the right direction to protect American interests from the predatory behavior of the Chinese Communist Party. And don't forget, we closed down one of the largest spy operations ever inside the United States in the consulate that was in Houston, Texas, where they were spying on America's energy industry from that very consulate. The Chinese Communist Party wants to do exactly what you described. They want to have hegemonic influence. It's a big country with a big economy, and if we don't wake up and if we don't begin to confront it, we'll live in a very different world, Laura.
Mr. Secretary, always great to see you. Thank you so much.